Alright, Sunoiler has put down a 1:33.975. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
And 7Y is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. I had a Euro S about understanding the track's personality today. A Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Thruxton.
Sunoiler posted 1:33.975 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There goes, and 7Y is here, on their first dance with Thruxton. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too. Making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Joerg U is in Cobb. These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
There's the first flying lap for Joerg U, hitting 6:20.822. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
With just 204 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. And 7Y is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Puppy Dog from Hell posted a 1:37.745 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Joe Ergu's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:35.205. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
There's Andreas Dittmann, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The outlap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Thruxton.
Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:33.975. There are just over 200 minutes left in this practice session. You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Watchers and 7Y is here, takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they Euro recalibrating everything Euro, the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. IDA Euro is a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Alright, Joe Ergu has put down a 1:32.316. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
And off goes, and 7Y is here, easing into the rhythm of Thruxton. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the sensors, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Eddie G posted 2:16.238 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:33.430. With just 197 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There's the first flying lap for Eddie G, hitting 1:35.875. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mr. Bangs on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Megasaurus 55 crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:31.560. They're getting to grips with Thruxton, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Mike O'Hagan is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The outlap is like the opening chapter of a book. A Euro sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Thruxton.
There goes, and 7Y is here, on their first dance with Thruxton. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Smells Like Wee's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:36.071. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Mr. Bang is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Lookin' 7Y is here taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Andreas Dittmann is really opening up the taps now, their first flyer of the session. This is where we start to see what Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR has got under the hood.
That's right, Rob. They a Euro reshaking off the cobwebs and really starting to push. Ida Euro S all about finding that sweet spot between speed and control on the circuit.
Smells like we posted a 1:33.994 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it. Starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure. You tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
Puppy Dog from Hell's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:34.426. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:32.864. Alright, Puppy Dog from Hell has put down a 13:27.481. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR.
For sure, Rob. It's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
With just 188 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There's the first flying lap for Megasaurus 55, hitting 1:30.866. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Smells Like We posted 1:35.405 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Andreas Dittmann crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:34.006. They're getting to grips with Thruxton, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Sunoiler's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:32.819. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
Richard Rossier is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. I had a Euro S about understanding the track's personality today. A Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Thruxton.
Mike O'Hagan's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 4:08.065. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Alright, Andreas Dittmann has put down a 1:34.030. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR.
For sure, Rob. It's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Mr. Bang is getting to grips with the Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR in this practice session. Smells Like We posted a 1:31.244 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mike O'Hagan has a best lap time of 1:29.349. Smells Like We posted 1:31.244 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Get ready for some high-octane action as the drivers take on the challenge of qualifying at Thruxton.
I think there's a few drivers out there who have the pace to stick in on pole.
What an impressive performance from Eddie G. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Eddie G has been absolutely exceptional in this qualifying session. Their performance is a testament to their skill and determination.
A solid performance from Smells Like We as they currently hold position 10. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. A challenging session for Mr. Bang so far. They're currently in 11th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Mr. Bang might be disappointed with their current position, but there's still time to make a difference. They'll need to remain composed, analyze the data, and push themselves to the limit to improve their qualifying result.
And there goes Eddie G, currently in position 2. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. A mesmerizing display from Puppy Dog from Hell in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Puppy Dog from Hell is displaying an exceptional level of skill and confidence. They are in a class of their own and have taken control of this qualification session.
Puppy Dog from Hell has completed their outlap. Megasaurus 55 has put in a great effort and currently holds 8th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Incredible drive by Richard Rossier so far, earning him 3rd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You're spot on, Rob. Richard Rosier's current position of third is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Impressive display by Puppy Dog from Hell has completed their first flying lap in 1:34.587. It's an impressive showing by Sunoiler, currently in third. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
I couldn't agree more.
Sunoiler has just completed a lap in 1:31.166. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. What a performance from Smells Like Weed. They currently occupy 5th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favourable starting spot? A strong showing from Mr. Bang as they currently sit in 9th. Mr. Bang has just completed that lap in 1:36.789. Their best lap so far is 1:36.789, putting them in P9. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? It's been a challenging session for N7Y is here. They're currently languishing in 11th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around. And 7Y is here has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by Mr. Bang, positioning them in 9th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Mr. Bang has some work to do as that 1:35.274 is only good enough for 9th. What a sublime effort by Megasaurus 55 in qualifying. They have taken charge of the session, holding the top position with authority. Their consistency and skill have been unmatched so far, and they are positioning themselves for a favourable starting position. Impressive work from Mr. Bang, who has claimed 10th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Great analysis, Rob. Mr. Bang has shown excellent pace to secure 10th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
Mr. Bang might need to rethink their setup. That 1:35.026 isn't doing them any favours in 10th. Maybe tweaking the downforce for better grip could shave off a few precious seconds.
I agree, Rob. A bit more downforce on those corners at Thruxton could make a world of difference. But they'll have to be careful not to sacrifice too much top speed on the straights.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. It's a stellar performance from Sunoiler, clinching second.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
With Sunoiler now sitting pretty in second, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Zhou Yu has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? A solid performance from Andreas Dittmann as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Andreas Dittmann has positioned themselves well in 6th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race. In thinking, Andreas Dittmann could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 1,
32.683 isn't cutting it for 6th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
Incredible drive by Mr. Bang so far, earning them 10th on the grid. Mr. Bang's latest lap at 1:34.341 isn't cutting the mustard. They're sitting in 10th, which means there's a fair bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, Rob, it's a decent time, but in this game, decent won't get you to the podium. They'll need to dig deeper and find some extra pace.
Impressive display by Richard Rossier, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Jack M team has positioned themselves well in 3rd during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Jackham team's current position of 3rd is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
And there goes Richard Rossier, currently in position 4. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Richard Rossier's current position of 4th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 10th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
I completely agree, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves impressively in 10th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Looks like Mr. Bang needs to put the pedal to the metal. That last lap times landed them in 10th. Not where they'd want to be, especially with the session ticking away.
True, Rob. It's all about incremental gains. Every 10th of a second counts, and they've got to squeeze every bit of performance out of that Lotus Cortina MK1
A strong showing from Smells Like We as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Absolutely, Rob. Smells Like We has put in a remarkable effort to secure 7th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Impressive work from Smells Like We, who has claimed 7th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
You're spot on, Rob. Smells Like We's current position of 7th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Welcome to Great Britain, where the sun is shining and the engines are revving for today's race at Thruxton. Megasaurus 55 will be feeling confident starting from pole position.
But it's also a nightmare if they can't hold on to it. Let's see how they will handle the pressure.
It's Sunoiler, sitting comfortably in 2nd. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Jack MT. It's all happening. Tensions high as they go round the first bend. It's more packed than Bondi on a summer's day. One blew and it could be curtains.
It's pedal to the metal, but with finesse. It's a wild dance out there, and these drivers better be light on their feet or they'll find themselves out of step.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
I for one am really excited, Rob. The rivalry between Sunnoiler and Richard Rosier has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. Bit of a cruisy start for Sunnoiler, just feeling out the track at Thruxton. You know, like a dingo sussing out the lay of the land.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Sunnoiler is sitting right there at 2, just watching the field unfold.
Mike wants to get into Mr. Bang's slipstream.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
The gap between Mike and Mr. Bang is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.2 seconds. We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at Assetto Corsa, friends. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. And Mike is having to make that Lotus Cortina MK1 JUR as wide as possible to try and keep Mr. Bang behind them. Gee whiz. Eddie G is breathing down Joe Ergu's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Joe Ergu's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded. Things are getting spicy as Sunnoiler is breathing down Jack MT's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Sunnoiler to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
It's pedal to the metal for Sunnoiler, while Jack MT's still flipping through the radio channels.
Yes, but Sunnoiler can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
Looks like Sunnoiler's letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Now strolling at 4th.
Definitely. But Sunnoiler is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
The horizon that Sunnoiler peers towards is as enigmatic as the Uluru at dusk. Layers of stories and strategies are yet to unfold.
And over here, it feels like trying to read a story with half the pages missing. But stories have a way of coming full circle. Like the whispered legends told by the Smoky Mountains, this race still holds secrets. Every bend, every stretch could change the tale for Sunnoiler.
We're watching Mike in 5th, and is currently being hounded by Eddie G with a gap of just 0.3 seconds.
Absolutely. Mike is really making that car as wide as possible, not giving Eddie G an inch of space. It's going to take something special for Eddie G to get past him.
Get ready, folks. With Mr. Bang tailing this close to Puppy Dog from Hell, Noble is about to become a hotspot.
Should things go south between Mr. Bang and Puppy Dog from Hell, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
The adrenaline is pumping as Mike gets within striking distance of Joe Ergu in their race for— Sorry to cut in here. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Whoops, Sunnoiler is going to be kicking themselves.
The action is non-stop as Joe Ergu shadows Mike through every twist and turn, determined to claim 4th. No room for error here. Puppy Dog from Hell is breathing down the neck of Mr. Bang, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Superb driving from Puppy Dog from Hell, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. Wow, Mr. Bang is really pushing hard to catch up to Puppy Dog from Hell. There's blood in the water for 7th place. Struth. Sorry to interrupt here, but that won't be ideal for Puppy Dog from Hell. Blimey, Sunnoiler is closing in on Andreas Dittmann like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Cobb.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
Blimey, Sunoiler's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 9th just like that.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Sunoiler's putting on a masterclass, storming into 9th.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Sunoiler's just breezed into 8th.
Well, butter my biscuit. Sunoiler's burning rubber and climbing up to 8th.
Cricky. Andreas Dittmann sticking to Mr. Bang like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. Andreas Dittmann is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 2.25 seconds down.
Can Andreas Dittmann refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
Mike is giving it their all as they chase down Richard Rossier in P3. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Now, that's what I'm talking about. O'Hagan is proper nipping at Richard Rossier's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. A brilliant maneuver from Mike O'Hagan, who has just moved up the field. It's an intense battle for position as Andreas Dittmann tries to outmaneuver Puppy Dog from Hell. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
It's going to be a close one. Andreas Dittmann will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Sunoiler is right behind Smells Like We, keeping the pressure on for 7th place. Someone should tell Smells Like We this ain't a Sunday drive. Sunoiler's tearing up the track.
Someone better check if Sunoiler's been drinking those energy drinks, as it seems like they got wings.
Mr. Bang wants to find a way round Andreas Dittmann.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
Talk about pressure. Mr. Bang is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both and Andreas Dittmann.
You're right on the money, Rob. Mr. Bang is caught between two determined rivals, and the gaps to the cars ahead and behind add an extra layer of complexity. It's a delicate balance between defense and seeking opportunities.
Jack M team is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Mike at the moment. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Rob. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
Tell ya what, Puppy Dog from Hell's trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle? It seems like Puppy Dog from Hell is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Puppy Dog from Hell refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
Mate, Puppy Dog from Hell's really giving it a burl out there. Ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
It's a battle of wills out there, with Sunoiler trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Eddie G. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Sunoiler's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Sunoiler and Eddie G.
With every lap, I can see Sunoiler making micro adjustments on that steering wheel, refining traction control. They're itching to show Eddie G their taillights.
As a former racing driver, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
Whoa there. Eddie G is sticking to sun oiler like glue. You reckon sun oiler's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Eddie G looked like overtaking, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Blimey, Richard Rossier's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch.
I tell you what, Richard Rossier has got more problems than a maths book right now. Jack M team is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Oof, if Mr. Bang was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step. Mr. Bang's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Puppy Dog from hell like a dingo after a roadrunner. Hold on to your seats. Richard Rossier's turning the heat up on Jack M team, closing in for the kill.
There's a razor-thin line between glory and disaster, and both drivers are dancing right on it.
Richard Rossier is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Jack M team to 0.5 seconds.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
The battle for 10 is heating up as Mr. Bang tries to catch Puppy Dog from hell in P10. It's a close race between Sunoiler and Joe Yu in 5th. It's looking good for Sunoiler, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Joe Yu. Sorry to cut in here. Well, Megasaurus 55's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them.
Megasaurus 55 is not going to be happy about that.
Things are heating up as Mr. Bang tries to close the gap to Puppy Dog from hell.
Each roar of the engine, each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who will pen the perfect ending?
Oh, this is getting intense. Richard Rossier is just behind Jack M team. If Richard Rossier doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Mr. Bang's name on it. Puppy Dog from hell, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you.
Sweet tea and biscuits. Mr. Bang's got the pedal to the metal, chasing down Puppy Dog from hell like it's the last slice of pie at a family reunion.
Alright, hold your horses. Richard Rossier is really putting the heat on Jack M team. If I were Jack M team, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. The gap between Richard Rossier and Jack M team is widening. It's now up to 0.4 seconds. You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point, strategy is everything out here.
Oh, this is getting intense. Mr. Bang is just a few car lengths behind Puppy Dog from hell. Smells like we wants to close that gap with Eddie G. As a former racing driver, how important is the relationship between a driver and their team during a race?
It's absolutely crucial, Rob. The team provides valuable information and support, helping the driver make the right decisions on track. A strong bond between the driver and the team can be the difference between winning and losing.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Looking at the lap times, Richard Rossier is not on pace with Jack M team. Can they turn it around?
Well, Richard Rossier's got their britches in a twist. Jack M team is riding the gravy train with biscuit wheels, I tell ya.
Now isn't this a show? Mr. Bang's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in puppy dog from hell. Look at them weave and bob through Goodwood, folks.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race.
It's a challenging situation for Mr. Bang. They're sandwiched between their fierce competitors, 0.1 seconds away, and puppy dog from hell, 0.2 seconds ahead. They'll need to stay sharp and find an opportunity to make a move.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable information for Mr. Bang. They need to assess the situation and use the gaps strategically to plan their moves.
Oh, the pressure is on for Mr. Bang. Trapped between 0.1 seconds away and puppy dog from hell just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds, they must defend their position while seeking an opportunity to advance.
Spot on analysis, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are like a double-edged sword for Mr. Bang. They can use the gaps to their advantage, but they also need to be aware of the threats from both directions.
It's a battle of wills out there. Each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
What a tight spot for puppy dog from hell. They have right on their tail 0.1 seconds away, and Mr. Bang just inches away with a gap of 0.2 seconds. It's a true test of their racecraft. The gap between Richard Rossier and Jack M team is razor thin as they vie for third in this nail-biting contest.
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Richard Rossier is doing to Jack M team right now, doesn't it?
A setback for Richard Rossier, who has just been passed. Oh dear, Richard Rossier has dropped down to 6th. The pursuit is on. Puppy dog from hell is closing the gap on Mr. Bang, determined. Wait, Richard Rossier's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a Colby to forget that one. The race is really heating up. Puppy dog from hell is hunting down Mr. Bang with everything they've got.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to the ragged edge looking for every last ounce of speed. Could be they are pushing too hard though, and that's only going to slow them down.
Someone's revved up after lunch. Puppy dog from hell's blitzed ahead, claiming 10th.
That's what we like to see. Puppy dog from hell is really showing their class today.
Reminds me of two wombats fighting for the best burrow. Close, intense, and unpredictable.
Oh, this is gripping. With every lap, Mike's drawing closer to that lead spot. They're both battling tire to tire.
If I were the leader, I'd be checking my mirrors every blink of an eye. Whoa, Mike O'Hagan's on fire, leaving skid marks and Megasaurus 55's hopes behind.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Mike's got the afterburners on full blast today.
Andreas Dittmann is on a mission, chasing Richard Rossier, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. The best laid plans of mice and men, haha, but it's certainly not going to plan for Andreas Dittmann right now as they are struggling to keep up with Richard Rossier. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. Look at that, Megasaurus 55 is hot on the tail of Mike.
This is where every inch counts. Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to close the gap on O'Hagan. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Look at this. Sunoiler is practically drafting off Jack M team. With the gap this small, Goodwood is going to be a real test. This is what it's all about, folks. Smells Like We is in hot pursuit of Eddie G, who's just trying to stay ahead.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Smells Like We gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
It's not coming up roses for Smells Like We. They're trailing Eddie G and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
This is a thrilling battle as Smells Like We edges closer to Eddie G in their fight for P6.
Dang, Smells Like We's chasing Eddie G like a Southern belle after a gentleman with a
Wait, whoops. Eddie's taken more spins than a dead or alive record. Looks like Andreas Dittmann is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control.
Joe Ergiu has the pedal to the metal chasing Sunoiler. The G-forces these drivers endure, especially around corners like Woodham Hill, it's no joke. You'd think they're astronauts preparing for launch.
Oh, for sure, it's a testament to their fitness and training regimes. Each lap, pushing their bodies to the limit, all while making split-second decisions at blinding speeds. Respect.
Stone the Crows. Andreas Dittmann's in ninth, but if I know them, Richard Rossier's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. Andreas Dittmann seems to be losing the plot with Richard Rossier. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Allard and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. This is where the race gets really interesting. Mr. Bang is closing in on Puppy Dog from Hell. It's like David versus Goliath out there. Mr. Bang just slung a stone and gained ground, while Puppy Dog from Hell is left searching for footing. Would y'all look at that gap? Puppy Dog from Hell's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Andreas Dittmann's not letting Richard Rossier have all the fairy bread at this party. Watch out, Richard Rossier, he's coming for your Tim Tams, mate. I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Puppy Dog from Hell and Mr. Bang. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
It's a game of strategy now as Puppy Dog from Hell hunts down Mr. Bang. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Andreas Dittmann's inching ever closer to Richard Rossia.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
With steely determination and laser focus, Puppy Dog from Hell is homing in on Mr. Bang. The battle lines are drawn. Puppy Dog from Hell is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Mr. Bang at the moment. The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
Look at Andreas Dittmann trying to close that gap on Richard Rossia. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party.
Things are getting spicy now, as Eddie G and Andreas Dittmann look to battle it out for 8th place.
Andreas Dittmann's pushing harder than I did at the buffet last night. Hope Eddie G has a bit more restraint than I did.
Hold on to your Akubra, Hal. Eddie's getting left in the outback, while Andreas Dittmann's riding the kangaroo route up front.
Yep, Andreas Dittmann's dancing to the bluegrass tune, while Eddie G can't find the beat. Absolutely. They need to rethink their approach and come up with something new, or they risk losing even more ground. On the other hand, Andreas Dittmann has been making some impressive moves and looks like a serious contender.
The chase music's playing in Andreas Dittmann's head as they reel in Richard Stop the press. Well, Jack M Team's spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get them a map? Or a therapist?
Well, shoot, Jack M Team's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster but always a show.
With every twist and turn, Andreas Dittmann is shadowing Richard Rossia, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt.
Now, ain't that something? Andreas Dittmann's car is humming like a Sweet Carolina tune. He's looking to take Richard Rosier for a spin around the dance floor of Thruxton.
Blimey, Puppy Dog from Hell is sticking to Mr. Bang like a kangaroo to her Joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit Woodham Hill. Talk about being caught in the middle. Puppy Dog from Hell is sandwiched between their rivals, 0.1 seconds behind and Mr. Bang 0.1 seconds ahead. The battle for position is on.
I'm on the same page, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable context to understand the challenges faced by Puppy Dog from Hell. It's a constant juggling act, and they need to seize the right moment to gain an advantage.
Hold your breath, folks. Puppy Dog from Hell is sandwiched between two relentless competitors, 0.1 seconds behind and Mr. Bang 0.1 seconds ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for every position.
Absolutely, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are like windows of opportunity for Puppy Dog from Hell. They need to assess the timing and make their moves wisely to maximize their chances.
Hollywood couldn't script this better. Mr. Bang's shadowing Puppy Dog from Hell, waiting for the slightest misstep. Andreas Dittmann is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
As we come into the final moments of this epic race, Mike is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon?
That's an impressive burst of speed. It's all but said and done now.
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for O'Hagan.
What a result for O'Hagan. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
Impressive second place finish for Megasaurus 55.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
Excellent focus from Sunoiler to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Jack M Team and Joe Erg Yu take 4th and 5th. Smells like we in 6th. Coming in 7th we have Andreas Dittmann, followed by Richard Rossier in 8th. Finishing 9th is Eddie G. Tenth is Puppy Dog from Hell, with Mr. Bang in 11th. The circus has come to Great Britain, and we're all in for a treat today. Thruxton is a track that always delivers.
I can't wait to see what kind of performance the drivers will deliver today. This is going to be an exciting race.
Eddie G will be looking to convert their pole position into a win.
But they can't count their chickens before they hatch. There is a long way to go.
The race is on, and tensions are high as drivers navigate the first lap. One wrong move could lead to a collision in these tight quarters.
With hearts racing and engines roaring, they've got to be smarter than the average bear to navigate this here minefield.
So Richard Rossier's decided to play it cool, holding on to 2 like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
Like gladiators they enter Rob, but instead of lions and swords our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
Well, butter my cornbread, Sunoiler's playing it cool and steady. Maybe they're just enjoying the beautiful Thruxton 2021 update here at Thruxton. Can't blame them.
Sunoiler is going to be starting from 7th.
But they can't afford to be complacent. This is race day, after all.
Our 7th place starter, Sunoiler, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Taking off from the 3rd grid slot is the skilled driver, Andreas Dittmann. Taking the 4th spot is Smells Like Weed. The 5th position belongs to Joe Yu.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Now, isn't that a sight? Joe Yu hanging tight at 5. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage? A twist in our tail. Eddie slipping more than a bar of soap in a bath, now at 2nd. Fantastic move from Eddie G, who has just gained a position.
That kind of move, that's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Richard Rossier is sniffing around Eddie G like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of first. We got a close battle as Smells Like Weed closes in on Andreas Dittmann.
These two are putting on a masterclass in precision driving. Every turn, every acceleration, calculated to perfection.
Disappointing for Smells Like Weed, they now find themselves in 5th. The intensity is off the charts as O'Hagan hounds Jack M Team, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
Mike is following Jack M Team so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Bloody hell, Mike's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 5th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. As a former driver, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Coming into Club Chicane, the fight for first is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Richard Rosier or Eddie G? It's anyone's race.
Tough break for Richard Rossier, who has just lost a position.
We've seen Richard Rosier in such situations before. A temporary descent, but always with an eye on the bigger picture.
Buckle up. Mike O'Hagan is all over Joe Yu like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
Should things go awry, Mike and Yu might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Not much room to breathe for Jack M Team with Megasaurus 55 trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at Cobb.
Y'all see that? Megasaurus 55's right on Jack M Team's tail, and with the gap narrowing, Cobb is going to be crucial.
Seems like Mike is getting in range of Joe Yu.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
Mike just blitzed past Joe Yu like they were standing still.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. O'Hagan needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
It's a game of inches now as Megasaurus 55 tails Jack M Team closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. An impressive showing from Megasaurus 55, who has gained positions and left Jack M Team in the dust. Sunoiler appears to be trying to find a way round Joe Yu. They could make a move on them in Club Chicane.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Things are heating up as Smells Like We closes in on Sunoiler. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Hold on to your hats, folks. Jorg Yu is right on the heels of Mike, and we're in for a wild ride.
Remember that time Jorg Yu made that audacious move on the last lap? Feels like deja vu, doesn't it, Rob?
This is wheel-to-wheel racing at its finest. The drivers are practically glued together as they fight for every inch of track. It's a battle you don't want to miss.
Exactly, Rob. It's like a high-stakes chess match on wheels. These drivers are analyzing every move and trying to anticipate their opponent's next move. It's a true test of their mental acuity.
It's all eyes on this battle as Jorg Yu in 5th tries to hold off the challenge of Smells Like We. It looks like Smells Like We is all over Sunoiler. I think they're gonna press him through Brooklands and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob. That's exactly what I would be doing here, as Sunoiler is going to be aware of them riding their bumper. Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
The crowd is on its feet as Jorg Yu chases down Sunoiler through Club Chicane. I swear, Jorg Yu's on the prowl, making that leap to 5th look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue. Talk about intense. Sunoiler is on Megasaurus 55's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Allard.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. What a move. Mike has moved up to 1st. Gee whiz. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Jorg Yu's neck. Sorry to interrupt here, but maybe Eddie's got a drop bear in the cockpit, cause that move was bonkers.
Dang, Eddie G decided to cut loose like it's spring break '89. Wrong party, pal.
Struth. If Smells Like We gets any closer to Jack M team, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Goodwood.
Well, bless my heart. Smells Like We is shadowing Jack M team so closely, it's like they're hitched together. Keep an eye on them as they whip through Goodwood.
The adrenaline is pumping as Sunoiler gets within striking distance of Jorg Yu in their race for 6th. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? A great pass for Jorg Yu as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Megasaurus 55 has lost ground.
Go, go, go. That's what we want to see. Did we just witness a gambit?
It seems Jorg Yu is recalibrating, now at 7th. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Jorg Yu is dancing closer and closer to Sunoiler. You can feel the tension as they approach Cobb. A great moment for Jorg Yu, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings.
Yes, Jorg Yu is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
I love being here at Thruxton. What an awesome place to be witnessing these titans of the track battle it out.
Indeed, Rob, what a magnificent sight and sound. I love listening to the roar of these engines. Let's just listen for a moment.
Smells Like We is running 10th. They are trying to catch Jack M team. Wow, Jack M team is really pushing hard to catch up to Mr. Bang. There's blood in the water for 8th place.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
The battle is on for Jack M team. They're sandwiched between two rivals, Smells Like We 0.2 seconds away and Mr. Bang 0.1 seconds ahead. It's a true test of their racecraft.
No doubt about it, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are like a constant reminder for Jack M team. They need to maintain their pace to defend their position and potentially make a move.
Sunoiler wants to find a way round Megasaurus 55.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Hold on to your hats. Megasaurus 55 is gunning for Richard Rossier. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Sunoiler is taking that advice to heart today.
Oh, the pressure is intense. These three drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chess match out there.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Rob. The door-to-door action is exhilarating. The bravery required to go side by side like that is something only the best drivers possess.
Incredible. Megasaurus 55 is caught in a fierce battle, with Sunoiler breathing down their neck 0.2 seconds away, and Richard Rossier just ahead with a gap of 0.1 seconds. It's a test of their racing skills. Whoa there. Smells like we is sticking to Jack M team like glue. You reckon Jack M team's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. It's a dynamic landscape out there. Richard Rossier's shift to fourth is testament to that. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
It's a close race between Mr. Bang and Smells Like We in ninth.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Mr. Bang must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
It's a challenging situation for Mr. Bang. They're sandwiched between their fierce competitors, 0.1 seconds away, and Smells Like We 0.2 seconds ahead. They'll need to stay sharp and find an opportunity to make a move.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind create a dynamic situation for Mr. Bang. They must carefully manage their position while being mindful of potential overtaking opportunities.
Now, this is a challenging position for Mr. Bang. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, with closing in 0.1 seconds behind and Smells Like We just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. Blimey, Smells Like We is closing in on Mr. Bang like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Allard.
Well, isn't this a showdown? Smells Like We's right on the tail of Mr. Bang. Eyes peeled as they approach Allard, folks.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Andreas Dittmann is right behind Jack M team, keeping the pressure on for 6th place. Smells Like We seems to be putting the pressure on Mr. Bang.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
Oh, this is getting intense. Sunoiler is just behind Joe Erg-Yu.
The chase between Sunoiler and Jorg-Yu is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Big gains for Sunoiler as they move up the field, leaving Joe Erg-Yu behind. In the grand chessboard of racing, Sunoiler appears to have just been checked. Now stationed at 5th. This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Sunoiler is the predator, with Joe. Incident alert. Blimey, Jack M team must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. Get ready, folks. With Mr. Bang tailing this close to Smells Like We, Allard is about to become a hotspot. And Mr. Bang has just won the place from Smells Like We. A strategic misstep perhaps? Mr. Bang's place has shifted to 8th. The plot thickens.
Such position changes can be deceptive. It might look like a setback for me.
Oh no, what's this? Talk about going walkabout on the track. Sunoiler's off on a little bush adventure at Thruxton, aren't they? It's an intense battle for position as Mr. Bang tries to outmaneuver Sunoiler. This is edge of your seat racing. Stone the crows. Mr. Bang's on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, 7th. These drivers? Top-notch athletes. It's not just about being quick. They've got stamina, reflexes, and they got to think faster than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
I'd pay to see that. A kangaroo on a trampoline? But yeah, their mental and physical game has to be on point for these races.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Sunoiler is chasing Mr. Bang in P7.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Sunoiler needs to stay patient and wait for Mr. Bang to make a mistake.
This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Andreas Dittmann's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
Fair dinkum, mate. Andreas Dittmann's got to pull their socks up. They're dawdling around like they're lost in the outback while smells like wee's blazing the trail.
Can Andreas Dittmann make a comeback?
Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a croc handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close? It's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
This is getting heated. With Sunoiler nipping at the heels of Mr. Bang, they're gonna make Brooklyn's one to remember.
Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Sunoiler's just rocketed into 7th. And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean, drivers. I always get them confused.
It's a battle of wills out there. Each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Sunoiler is definitely living on the edge today.
A tough moment for Sunoiler, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 8th. Looks like Mr. Bang's car has turned into a mobile, no vacancy sign, and Sunoiler is looking for a room. You won't find cheap rent here, mate.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Sunoiler is in there like a rat up a drain pipe. How? Mr. Bang is not going to be happy about that. Remember when Jack M team was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. We often hear drivers complaining about tire graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface, reducing grip and negatively affecting handling. It usually happens when the tires are not in their optimal temperature window or when a driver is pushing too hard on a cold or overworked tire.
This is edge of the seat stuff. Sunoiler is relentlessly hunting down Andreas Dittmann. Who'll blink first? Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa Friends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
This is getting exciting. Can Sunoiler pull off a late charge and gain a position? Well, butter my biscuit. Andreas Dittmann is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Sunoiler some grey hairs. Hal, what's the impact of tyre degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Mr. Bang's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
I agree, Mr. Bang is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Andreas Dittmann and Sunoiler, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
It's not looking good for Andreas Dittmann. They are still behind Sunoiler and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage, it's an art form combined with sheer grit.
Blimey, Jack M team's gunning it in 8th. Just a whisker behind Andreas Dittmann. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
It's pedal to the metal for Jack, braking development. Just like my hope in finding the one. Andreas Dittmann's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Well, slap my grandma. Andreas Dittmann's gone off like they saw a ghost. Or maybe they just saw their last lap time.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Mr. Bang zeroes in on Jack M team, blade sharpened and ready. It looks like Jack M team is pulling away from Mr. Bang. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Cobb. As the sun beats down and the engines roar, Megasaurus 55 stakes a claim in 2nd.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Megasaurus 55 needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Well, butter my biscuits Hal, Megasaurus 55 is watching their lead over Richard Rossier shrivel faster than a prune in the sun. We're down to just 8.8 seconds.
This is a real test for Megasaurus 55. They need to find some extra pace and hold off Richard Rossier if they want to win this race.
You know, Sunoiler reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. It's all systems go for Richard Rossier, marking their territory in the 3rd. Richard Rossier is pushing harder than a kangaroo in a boxing match, widening their lead over Joe Ergue. They found their rhythm like a didgeridoo player in full swing. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Superb driving from Sunoiler, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. In your experience, Hal, what was the most challenging aspect of maintaining concentration during a race?
The most challenging aspect, Rob, was managing the various inputs and distractions during the race, from radio communication with the team to monitoring car performance and race strategy. It's a delicate balancing act that requires immense mental discipline.
Oh mate, Andreas Dittmann's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the Barbie.
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Andreas Dittmann's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
Fair dinkum. Andreas Dittmann's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter.
Now, ain't that something? Andreas Dittmann is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Mr. Bang.
Let's talk about tire degradation, Hal. How does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
Blimey, Sunoiler is farther back than my hairline. But, you know what they say about Aussies, never say die, unless it's a spider. Then just run.
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Sunoiler, I'm thinking the same.
Boy, Sunoiler's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Smells like we's got a battle ahead.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Well, Sunoiler, if you're looking for a way past, you'll need a please and thank you and a slab of beer for Smells Like We. It's happy hour, and they're not giving an inch. He can't hold on. Smells Like We is losing time to Sunoiler.
If Smells Like We wants to keep their lead, they're going to need to drive like they've got a gator on their tail.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Sunoiler is proper nipping at Smells Like We's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Sunoiler must be laser focused on Smells Like We's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Smells Like We is breathing down the neck of Sunoiler, not giving him any room to relax. Great driving from Smells Like We, who has just gained a place and moved up to 5th. By the looks of it, Sunoiler in 6th is keen to throw another shrimp on the Barbie and crank up the heat on Smells Like We. Hold on to your stubbies. Blimey, Richard Rossi has just thrown another shrimp on the Barbie of mishaps. This one's burnt.
I swear, Richard Rosier is acting like they found Elvis off track. Spoiler, the king ain't there.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Richard Rossier trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Sunoiler. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Richard Rossier close in enough to mount a challenge?
Good lord, at this rate, Richard Rosier is gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
Smells Like We is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.14 seconds down. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Smells Like We for nabbing 4th. Hold on to your stubbies. Sunoiler is closing in on Smells Like We like a bachelor at the end of a buck's night. Hope Smells Like We either brought some lube or protection. Sunoiler's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Smells Like We like a dingo after a roadrunner. Crikey, Andreas Dittmann's got a gap ahead as vast as the Simpson Desert. The bloke's really got to pull up his socks to close that chasm.
Sure as sugar, down in Carolina, we'd say they're trailing like a turtle in a rabbit race. Now, racing is a lot like Southern barbecue. It's all about patience and keeping the heat just right. So, let's see if Andreas Dittmann can cook up a comeback.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Jack M-Team's grasp on the 7th speaks volumes.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax. Jack M-Team's grip on 7th will be tested.
Well, that's an unexpected descent. Jack M-Team finds themselves repositioned at 9th.
Racing's an art and sometimes the canvas changes mid-stroke. Jack M-Team's shift will add to the intrigue of today's story.
This is what it's all about, folks. Sunoiler is in hot pursuit of Smells Like We, who's just trying to stay ahead.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Sunoiler's just breezed into 4th. The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tire technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
No room for error here. Smells Like We is breathing down the neck of Sunoiler, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. The gap between Andreas Dittmann and Mr. Bang is razor thin as they vie for 7th in this nail-biting contest.
This is what separates the good from the great, the ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Andreas Dittmann acquaints themselves with a new perspective at 9th.
Well, change is the only constant. And in this dance, Andreas Dittmann is certainly keeping us on our toes with that position shift.
Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess.
Braking development. Megasaurus 55's off the track. Reminds me of my first car, a real lemon. Drove straight but only in reverse.
That maneuver from Megasaurus 55? Just like my attempt at DIY car mods. Ambitious, but not quite right.
Good on ya, Andreas Dittmann. Not letting Mr. Bang get too comfy up front. Reckon he's planning a bit of a "g'day mate" on the next corner? A strong showing from Megasaurus 55, who is currently 3rd.
Definitely. But they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Megasaurus 55 has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
It's like Mike O'Hagan has saved all their energy for this final stretch.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
What a win. This is a historic moment for Mike, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. Joerg Yu takes 2nd place with a fantastic race.
Intense race, but Jorg Yu held their nerve and earned a great 2nd place.
That was an outstanding performance from Sunoiler. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium.
Fantastic result.
Taking 4th is Smells Like We. 5th sees Mr. Bang. Andreas Dittmann claimed 6th. Megasaurus 55 in 7th.